Today we're really going over the basics. We're going back to the start, refreshing everybody. So I'm going to do an introduction on the diary, on what is where, how to find everything. And then we'll go a little bit through how you manage your bookings and how you use it during service. At the end of the session, we can answer all your questions. You can add them to the chat section on your screen, which would be on the right-hand side of your screen. We will, if you just write them in whenever you want, we will answer them at the end of the session. So I'm going to show you one of my demo diaries today, and we'll go through that and show you what we've got. Okay, now I've got it here as well. One second. Okay. So this is a demo diary. So there are a few things in here that might look a little bit strange, but I will explain what they are and what they mean. I'm going to start with the start. There are obviously going to be some items that you know about, but I'll just go through the easy things quite quickly. You will have a username, and if you haven't got a username, you can always obviously get one. Doing that, so also with all your questions or any request you have for future items to be switched on, you should have a Dimmi representative you can always call, or you can call our support line or email, which I'll show you at the end of the session how to reach them. If anything you want to be done, just give us a call and let us know. So this is my demo diary. We're going to go through this and see if there's some features that you can use. So you will have a user. Some restaurants only have one user. If you need more users, you can set them up yourself, or you can ask us to do it. The good thing about users is that they can have different access. So some users might be able to make bookings and cancel them, and some users might not be able to do that. This counts for almost every setting in the diary. You can switch it on and off per user, what they can and can't do. So you could even have a user just for your chef. He can only see the diary. He can't touch anything, just see the diary and see how many people are coming. So once you've got a user and you can log into the diary, you obviously end up on today's date at the top. So the top middle bit is our navigation of the diary. There will be 4 or 5 shortcuts where we can quickly click on a day. So if I click on Saturday, it will take me to Saturday, and I can see quickly what's happening on the Saturday. I can go 1 day forwards, and I can go 1 day backwards. Or if I click on the date, I can go wherever I like. And I think this never stops, which I think is quite interesting. This keeps going. If I want to go back to today, I can press on today, but I can also use the T on my keyboard, and it will bring me back to today. If you want to know the shortcuts for ResDiary, there are not too many, but there are maybe 1 or 2 that are very handy for you during service. If you press Shift ? It will show the shortcuts on the diary. So the ones that I would use the most, and most of the restaurants I see are used the most, is the T, jump to today, quickly to the closeout console, make a new booking. And if you use the waitlist, these are pretty handy for the waitlist as well. The L is your icons. The first top bit until where we got the letters of anniversary and birthday. The first bit are the default icons in ResDiary. The bottom ones are the ones that are set up for yours specifically. So these are your customized booking icons. I will take you through this a little bit later, where these are and where they show up, and how you can set them up yourself. So this is our navigation. On the left-hand side, we've got our areas and our tables. So this restaurant's got an inside area, it's got a back area, and it's got a communal table. Yeah, the numbers are the table numbers. So these should basically be the same numbers as you have in your POS. So table 1, 2, 3, 4 up until 11. And then behind it is the maximum capacity. You can sell this table for, I would normally say online, because you can internally always override it. So this table is an easy 8. You can get an online booking on it without talking to the customers, that it might be a squeeze. So if you want to put a 9 on it, you can put a 9 on it yourself and override it. On the top are our services. there's a breakfast service, there's a lunch service, and there's a dinner service. Underneath, we've got the time slots that are available to be booked. So we've got breakfast from 10 to 11:30, lunch from 12. Last booking is at 4 because 4:30 is closed out here with some stripes and colors. And dinner starts at 6. I just need to. Okay. When we hover over one of these time slots, so you can see 7 o'clock, it's got 4 covers booked and it's turned red. So that it turns red means we've already overwritten the amount of covers that we like to take at 7 o'clock. So it says 4 out of 0. The 0 has been set up. That means we don't want to take bookings at 7 o'clock. But internally, we can override this. At 7:30, it says 12. So we're allowing 12 covers to come in. 8 have already booked. 8 covers. And out of those 8 covers, it's 3 bookings. So these maximum covers per time slot, we can set up per any day per time slot. So on a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, 7 o'clock could have a different amount of covers or bookings, or both. You can also say, I want 12 covers and 2 bookings. That basically means you can get 2 6s or whatever, as long as it fits within those parameters. The other bit we've got here at the top is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It tells me lunch 0:18 and dinner 0:14. The zeros at the moment means that's how many have arrived. The next one, 18 and 14, means how many have booked. So we'll take you through this a little bit later when we seat customers. Then you'll see that those numbers will change and you can see how many have arrived. On the top here, we've got a restaurant selector. If you're in a group of restaurants and maybe you've got a central reservation, or maybe you have 2 restaurants, you can click here and you'll see your other restaurants as well. So this one's got 2 restaurants. So if I click on the other restaurants, it will open up the other restaurants. So we can swap in between the 2 of them quickly. Underneath there, we've got a couple of icons, or we've got a few icons. The first one is messages. These are internal messages. This is communication from you or from the manager to the staff. To put a message in here, unfortunately, we do have to click on settings first and go to messages. And we can see straight away that this has changed since 2 days. It's looking a lot more beautiful and easier to navigate. So messages is here. Click on messages and we can add a message. So create new, put in a name, put in a description. So if I put in one in here, test webinar, and I'll do today to today. So from today till today, or let's do for 2 days, enabled every area. And I'm also going to see it during the booking process. So this basically means if I'm on the diary on the 1st of March and I stay on the diary, but I make a booking for today, it will show up in my booking process. So if I go back to my diary, you'll see we get a pop-up at the top, test webinar, and I can click close. If I don't show this message again, it will not come up anymore. But if I go to tomorrow, it's gone as well. Cool. So that means I've seen it. If I'm a different user, it will still show for me. So it depends on the user who clicks on it, that will not show anymore. The next one, we've got promotions. Promotions are a very powerful tool. We can be set up for, obviously, promotions. They can be set up for special events. They can be set up for set menus. They can be set up to ask for credit card details. So we use them for everything. The reason we use them for everything is because they have so many parameters we can set up. We could set up a promotion for a specific time on a specific date, and we can limit the promotion to, let's say, 10 bookings, or we can say we only want group booking from 6 or more. We can add credit card details to them. We can do anything with them. So if you do anything special in your diary and you don't know how to set up a promotion, give us a call. We'll help you with it. What happens a lot is, and what happened in the past a lot is that a lot of restaurants, when they do something special, they close out the diary, they're missing out on online bookings, and they have to manually take all the bookings, write down credit card details. So all of that stuff we can do for you. We can show exactly what you're doing that day online. So if you're doing a wine dinner, we can show you doing a wine dinner. And what we do with that promotion is we force that promotion as well. So people can't book a la carte, they can only book the wine dinner. And when they do it online, we can also ask them to leave the credit card details to secure the booking. we can also ask them to leave their credit card details so we can take a prepayment. So we can do either way. This promotion that's set up here is that all groups for 8 or more will have to leave the credit card details. So if I make a booking online, it will ask for this. If I make a booking internally, it will ask for this as well. To make this happen, you will have to sign up to Stripe. If you haven't signed up to Stripe, contact us and we can make that happen. Once you've signed up to Stripe, your credit card details will basically go to Stripe online and they're PCI compliant. So in the past, and even in my restaurant I used to manage, we used to write down the credit card details or we put them in an Excel sheet, which is highly illegal. You're not allowed to store credit card details. So in this case, they'll go online. The only thing you can see are the last 4 digits of the credit card, but you can charge the card through ResDiary. So if you have like Stefan sitting here at 2 and he no-showed, you can, if he would have left his credit card details, you can go straight away from this booking to Stripe and charge his card because he no-showed. So there's a lot that you can do with promotions, very powerful, and yeah, make sure you use them. Reminders, I will not spend too much time on it. Basically, these are your reminders, mostly for groups. Maybe when you make a booking, you can remind yourself until a specific date that, for instance, you have to take a deposit or you need to do something with this group. Next one, we have the standby list. This system has a standby list and a wait list. So here is the standby list. Here is the wait list. The standby list are for future bookings. So if I'm fully booked on Saturday, I can put somebody on the standby list, and once the spots comes available, we can put them back on. The wait list is for during service, which I'll take you through a little bit later. Next one is the cancellation list. So if someone cancels, so let me cancel this booking. I cancel it. I choose a reason, complete, and I now have one on the cancellation list, and that's me. If it was a mistake, I can reseat them, or I can check the history. Now, this is a really handy feature because this could be a booking that was made online, like this one. It was made through your homepage. Yeah. The cancellation reason says change of plans. This basically means that someone in your restaurant has canceled this booking. If this cancellation reason is empty, it means that this person has canceled the booking online. So if I check the history, I can see that the ResDiary team, has canceled this booking. So sometimes there might be some disputes with people that have made a booking or canceled it by accident. This is where you find exactly what happened to the booking history. And the history you also find with normal bookings as well. So if this was a mistake, I can basically click reseat. Your booking process will come up. I'll click save and it will go back. Oh, it was in the past. We'll book him a little bit later. No, there we go. So he's in. Cancellation list. Next one are function inquiries. I'm not going to go through this. This is not a simple feature. If your restaurant does require to take function inquiries, just get in contact with us or your representative. Basically means you can take bookings which will not take up any tables. So these are for tentative bookings. Once you take a tentative booking, the system can send them a completely different email. Once you cancel that tentative booking, it can send an email. When you confirm it into a booking, it can send an email as well. So this is a whole separate function to be used. More for larger restaurants, I think, that want to use this feature. Okay, that's the left-hand side. The right-hand side, we're just going to go this quickly. At the top, we have a minimize button, which will give you just a bit more diary and a bit less buttons. So probably good during service. The print button we only use when we're on our running order, which we'll show a little bit later. We have a tools section where we can unallocate, we can join tables, or we can accept rules. Unallocate means I can say for dinner, I want to unallocate all my bookings because I'm not happy with the way they are allocated. I want to do it myself. So if I click unallocate, all my bookings for dinner have been unallocated and they are sitting on my unallocated list. Now I can drag these back one by one to find the right table, or I just click the button here to reseat them all and it will shuffle them back around, find the best ranked order and put them back on there. You can set up some rules that, for instance, VIPs will stay. You can set up a rule that join tables might stay. You can set up a couple of rules in the backend what this unallocated tool does. Join tables, I can add a join to my system, just knowing that this join will stay in your system and will be able to be booked online or internally. So this is more if there's one missing or you're changing your restaurant around. Rules exception, there's none in here, I think, but this is where you can switch off a rule for the day. So some restaurants, and most restaurants that we set up, we can set up a rule that, for instance, a table of 6, so 42 and 43, we want a minimum to book on it of 4 packs. So none under a 4 can book on a table of 6. But if the day comes closer and that table is not booked for a 4, a 5, or a 6, we might want to open it up for 3s and 2s. So you can click on the rules and switch that rule off. That rule can also be automatically switched off a certain amount of hours before the day. So if you set up a rule that only 4 plus can book on a table of 6, it can automatically be switched off, let's say 24 hours before, and then it will allow 2s and 3s and 4s to book on it as well. Rules, powerful as well, rules exception. The scroll on or off, this basically keeps the orange line, which is the current time, in the middle of the diary. So if you're during service, you might want to have this on, and if you're not, you have it off. Arrival status is what we're looking at now. Arrival status means that the colors of my booking is telling me what's going on. My blue color means non-arrived. My red color means late. And I'm going to seat this one so we have another color. Hopefully, I might just move them. There we go. Oh. So green means they're seated. So these are the 3 colors we have. There is another color, and if I click on here, there's actually 2 more colors. This is a gray color. I'm not sure if you can all see it. I think so, but gray means they're left, and then there's waiting in bar and partially seated. So this one, if I click on this again, I can close this booking. I'll take you to a little bit more through it when we do the during service bit, but closing the booking basically means they've left and the table is available. So now it's gray and it's closed, so I know this table is empty. Rachel is partially seated, and we see she's turned yellow. If I would have set it to waiting in bar, she will turn orange. And on the right hand side on my arrivals, I can also see that Rachel is partially seated. This means she's partially seated. And I can click on here as well to change that status as well. So I can click on the booking, or I can click on the icon in the expected arrivals. Okay. So that's arrival status. I can change this to confirmation status. Confirmation status will tell me who's confirmed or who's reconfirmed and who's not. At the moment, no one is reconfirmed in here. So someone probably should have called all these people. So let's say I've called Nicola and she said, yeah, we're coming. So I confirm this booking myself, and the booking will turn orange. Now with ResDiary, we don't want you to call all your customers because it's a lot of work. I remember doing it and it will cost me about an hour. So what ResDiary does is we'll send an email to the customers. So as soon as you put a booking in, or as soon as someone books online, they get a confirmation email saying thank you for your booking. And then 24 hours before, or at a different time to whatever you would like to set it for, we'll send them a reminder email asking them to reconfirm the booking. They click on a link, they click confirmed, and the booking will automatically turn orange in your diary. If that didn't work, or if they didn't see their emails, or they didn't have an email, you can also choose to send an SMS on the day. Let's say 10 o'clock in the morning, we send an SMS to all unconfirmed bookings. And in the SMS, they get a link, and they can do the same thing. They can reconfirm the booking. That basically means we can contact them. Well, we don't contact them twice because it will only contact the unconfirmed bookings. But in that case, you probably miss not many people, and you don't have to call too many people back, which saves a lot of time and effort. So confirmation status will show me who's confirmed in orange. If I go back to arrival status, and by the way, the other ones under here are not that important to look at. There is payment info if you're doing payments. channels is not that very important. Important could be interested if you got a large restaurant. That if you click on important, what will happen is these are all important because they've all got comments in it. So if I make another booking quickly, and we'll just do a test booking. We've got test. So it's a simple booking. There's nothing attached to this. You can see this one is still blue. As soon as I change something in this booking, if I put a comment in, customer comments, test, it will turn green because now it's more important. Important means there are comments in it, there's a promotion attached to it, or he's a VIP. So during service, it could be handy to focus on the right customers. So these are your booking views. Then we've got a book button, the walk-in button, which I'll go through later, my closeouts, add to the waitlist, and then the 3 views of the diary. So at the moment, we're looking at the grid. We have a floor plan, which is mostly designed to use during service. And we have our running order. The running order is always really good to print out before service or to do your briefing with your staff with. All the columns can be changed to whatever you would like them to be and in which order. So we can do that for you. I can also switch off while I'm looking at this specific services or areas. So if I wanted to print just dinner, I take lines off and it will show me just dinner. Once I'm on here, I can also click on table and it will sort it by table. It can sort it by covers. It can sort it by name and by time. And I think there were a few more. No, that's it. But obviously we can add more columns or fields to here what you require for your restaurant. Cool. So really the grid we see as our main view. It's the view where you can see the whole day, you can see what's happening, you can see a table might be rebooked. If you use all of your icons well, you'll be able to see everything really quickly. The orange bell here, by the way, means that this is a booking the last minute booking made within the last whatever we set up. So most restaurants are set up with an hour. You can change that to whatever you'd like. So that's your views. These are all the buttons. So I'll just go through how to make a booking, how to make a walk-in, and then we go into during service. This is the pretty basic stuff, but maybe still good to know. If I want to make a booking and I want to book a group or a larger size group, I would use the book button. If I want to book a single table, I would click straight on the grid. If I click on the grid, you can see that it highlights at the top in pink on what time I'm hovering over, and on the left it tells me which tables. So if I go 8 o'clock and I want table 34, if I click on that cell, it basically has filled in my whole reservation bit already. I'm on today, I'm on dinner, I'm on 4 packs, I'm on 8 o'clock, and I'm on table 34. So I could go straight away into the details. If I type in someone that has been in my restaurant before or in my group of restaurants, they will come up. So this is my main profile. So if I click on here, it tells me everything about me if I've been here before. So I like Pinot Noir. If I'm on the phone with this person, I could already sell him a bottle of Pinot Noir, or at least warm him up a little bit. I've got 26 past bookings, I've got 10 waitlist bookings, and I've got 4 cancellations. Now, if I want to know more about these bookings, I can go into the history of this customer, and I can see where I've been dining. If it would be different restaurants, I could see it. If there were any comments, it will show here as well. So between history and diner, I have all information about the diary and all his past bookings. In detail, I can add an anniversary or a birthday, an address, and I can set up 4 or 5 customized fields here. EPOS is a field that will show his bill, his history bills, if your diary is connected to your POS. If you want to know more about it, I suggest to give us a call as well. It is valuable information to see if I would have dined here before, what I've ordered, and how much I've spent. Third party we use for our concierge bookings or PA bookings. If you want to use this and you filled in the diner, you have to click the little button here and fill in all the fields. Once you have filled some in, you can search through your database and choose anybody who has made this booking before. Okay, I won't do this time, but you can only do this the first time you make the booking. You cannot go back into a booking and add the third party. It has to be done straight away. Okay, so we've got a first name, we've got a surname, we've got a mobile. We've got to make sure we put in the country code here as well. We've got an email. We've got an opt-in button, opt into your database. So we want to opt them into marketing. By default, if it's a new customer, they will always be opt-in. We can add a company, customer type. We can set this up for you to whatever you'd like. So we use this for all sorts of things. These could be Amex customers or Visa customers, or you could even use it for locals or regulars or whatever you would like. But we can set it up and customize this to whatever you want. A membership is a field that can be set up in the backend as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be membership, but it can create a membership number automatically per customer. The name membership you can change to whatever you like. You can search on membership as well, which could be interesting. We can make him a VIP here, and these are obviously his customer notes. So everything I fill in here will always stay with this profile. On the left-hand side, booking notes will only stay with this booking. So in the history, this will still show if I book in the future. Running late. The booking codes are basically the same as your booking notes, but these are the ones you get a lot of. So we don't want to type, we're just going to click on it and we do B, and birthday comes up. I click birthday, and now this will put a symbol in my booking, probably a B, depending on what we've set up. So we've got everything filled in here. I've got a very detailed booking summary here confirming a booking for 4 people on Thursday the 23rd, 8 p.m. for Stefan. Complete booking. And there he is. So the booking is in. It's got an orange clock as well because it's a last minute. The B means it's the birthday. The tick box means this one is already confirmed. And these are my customer comments and my booking comments. So if I hover over, it shows me the comments as well. If there would have been a leave time, I would see that as well, which I'm going to show you a little bit later. So that's a booking, making a booking via clicking on the grid. It will be the same if you use your floor plan. So on the floor plan, I can see my tables that are free. I'm just going to move this a little bit. When you look at the floor plan, it always looks at a specific time. So at the moment, it is 3:30, so it's looking at 3:30. I can click at 4 o'clock and see what's happening at 4 o'clock. And you see Rachel has been seated, and there's a little white line that tells me how far she's gone through her reservation. So if I go, it'll be a bit further, and by 6 o'clock she's probably gone, and the table is free. So back to 3:30, you can also see that Zoe's running late because her table is red, and we can see that table 8 is free for 3 hours and 30 minutes. Table 11 is 2 hours and 30 minutes. If there's nothing written in here, that means the table is free for the whole day. If I wanted to make a booking at, let's say, 6:30, I can see what's happening at 6:30. So I can see all the yellow ones are free, and when a booking is coming in, I can see that as well. The hard thing here is if I wanted to book a group, or let's say I want to book 8 people on the communal table. If I click on table 51, it's going to make a booking for 1. So really, we want to use the book button here. But let me do both. So I'm going to click on table 1 to make a booking. And I'll just do quickly this. We know how this works now. So I'm going to do a different one and complete the booking. And you see, because I did a large group, it asked me for my credit card details. Because I'm the manager in this restaurant, I'm allowed to skip it, but some people might not be able to skip it. I'll skip it. I'll complete it. And the booking is in. Saskia is in at 6:30. If I click book and I want to make a booking for 8 persons. I click search. I choose my time for dinner, 8 o'clock, and I'm going to find community table. I might have to go a little less because I might have not set this up. So if I go back to all areas where we were from the start, I do 4 people, all my combinations will come up here. This will be in order that we've ranked your tables. So we can rank your 2s, your 4s, your 6s, your 8s, they can all be ranked. But I want to use the community table because these people like to sit on the community table. I'm putting in Dave. And you'll see it will choose 4 seats on the community table. So if your restaurant has a community table, we can set it up for you. It can get a little bit tricky, but it's definitely possible. This probably shouldn't have gone into the middle. You probably want to put this on 51, and then it should take 6 seats. Obviously, this is a demo restaurant, so it's not quite set up. It takes 6 seats. We normally set up all the joints between all the seats, and that way it will work really well and fill up every seat in your restaurant if that's what you want. Sometimes restaurants like to leave maybe a seat open so they don't sit next to each other too close. We can set it up as well. So this is how the floor plan works to make a booking. I'll go back to the grid. So the same way here, I can click book. If it's a larger group for dinner, I'll click search. Every time I change something at the top here, I have to click search for availability. If I click search for availability and this takes too long, that means your internet is too slow. It's a really good test in the diary. If your internet is fast enough for ResDiary, you click book and the availability, when the times show up, this is already too long. This should be 3 seconds. So it's a good test to check your speed. Okay, that's better. 7:30, I'm gonna do 8. So you see every time I change the packs, it also changes what is actually available. So if I do an 8 o'clock comes up. But if I do a 2, I've actually got more availability. This is exactly the same what happens online. When people try to book online, it will search straight away what's available. That's why we call it real allocation. 8:30. This will now ask me for credit card details again. If I fill the credit card details in, it will say here card edit, and then I can go back later. I can click on payments, and then I can charge the card if I wanted to. I think that's pretty clear on how to make a booking. Edit the booking, pretty simple as well. Rachel has booked 13 people, or let's do Saskia here. Booked for 8 people, and now she's want to come with 6. So I can do 2 things. I can click on the booking and click edit. When I click edit, my process comes back up. I simply change it to 6, search, it will find a table by itself, hopefully. Obviously my internet is not quick enough here. Let's do it again. And you see when this is red at the top, when the date is red or pink, that means the system is thinking. At the moment it's sticking on there, so basically it's stuck. Sometimes the internet breaks down for a second. It happens everywhere. You just got to refresh it, and it will be back on. And it will turn white again. Okay. Back on edit. So she's now coming with 6. Click search, and it will find me a better table. Now in the availability, we also see that we've got blue time slots and red time slots. So the red time slots have overwritten the maximum coverage per time slot, and the blue ones are available. There is a new color since a couple of weeks, which is orange. And orange means you're breaking a rule if you do this. I'm not sure if I got any rules set up in here, so I might have to show you somewhere else. So I'm going to make it a 6. It will change tables to a table of 6. That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is to click straight on the 6. And I can go up or down. The only thing you got to remember is that you'll be able to override your table. You can switch this off per user. I can actually make this a 15, and I'm overriding this table from 6 to 15. There we go. So once I've done this, obviously 15 is not good, but let's make it an 8. Once I've done it, I then have to move the table myself. So I've got an 8 sitting on a 6. Table 1 is better, so I can pick her up and I can drag and drop her. So dragging and dropping is a great feature to move your bookings around during service. You just got to remember is when you're dragging and dropping is that at the top you can still see where I came from. You can see that 6:30 till 8 is light blue, and you can see on the left that the table 2 is also light blue. That's where I came from. And you also see in pink where I'm going to. So I need to make sure I go back to 6:30 at the same time. If I won't do that, I will get a notification. So I can click cancel because I didn't want to change the time, and the booking will go back, and then I just move it to 8 o'clock. Sorry, table 1. Obviously my internet has slowed down a little bit, I can see. Okay. That's editing the covers in your reservation. If I wanted to change anything in her comments, I can click on her booking and edit the comments on the left. I will get my customer comments and my booking comments, which I can change now. If I wanted to move this booking to a different date, you will have to click edit. That's the only way of doing it. Click edit and change the date at the top. So you change to Saturday, and if you will search, it will find the table on Saturday. It will search for availability again and then save it. I won't do that now. We'll leave it here. Other things we have to edit to bookings might be part of the profile. That's all. You will all have to click on edit to make that happen. Most of the easy things, as in changing the packs or changing a table or time, you can just do on the grid. You don't have to click edit to get there. If I click on the booking, we call this, what we see here, the booking spider, because it looks a little bit like a spider. The first one is my edit booking. The second one are reviews, which are not in use in Australia. These are restaurant diary reviews we don't use. The second one is to repeat the booking. I would only use this if this is for a regular that comes back every Friday till the end of the year. I want to make a lot of bookings, then this is good. If it's just 1 or 2 more bookings, I would just suggest to go to the date and make the booking. Repeat. Cancel booking, choose a reason. We can set up a notification from your diary as well that you've cancelled the booking. Obviously for online bookings, Dimmi sends one out themselves, but you can have a customized one as well. These reasons can be changed to your liking. Obviously these reasons are good to show a report at the end of the year. Why did people cancel? Most restaurants always tick the first one, but it's a good thing to just look what you've got and change it so you can pull a report by the end of the year what's going on. Cool. Cancel. Lock the booking means do not move. It's got a lock in there, and now I can't drag and drop it. It's stuck. Again, this can be, some users might be able to do this, some might not. Then we've got the reconfirm or unconfirm button. If they're already confirmed, you can unconfirm it, which obviously won't happen. The printer button we do not use anymore, but it will provide a little detailed information about this customer which you can print out, but you have to hook up a little printer to make this happen. Then underneath, we have all the information about the diary, about the booking. We've got the reference number, the name, there's an email or a phone number. When did this customer book? Which again is important sometimes when they call back. Arrival time, leave time, comments, promotions, menus, payments, everything's in here. Where did the booking come from? In your diaries, you'll probably see 3 colors. You will see blue, which is an internal booking, one that you made. There can be a yellow booking, which is a booking that came from your website, or an orange booking that came through Dimmi or the Dimmi network. I can resend the confirmation email if it was set up in here, but it's not. But if someone has made a booking for 9 and then they're coming with more, or they change it to 5, you can resend the confirmation email through this button. Depends on what's set up. You can also resend a confirmation SMS, but it only depends on what your diary is set up for. The view booking button I suggest not to touch. It's part of our old booking system that will disappear pretty soon. The history tells me what happened to this booking. Not much there. Who made it, when, and what did they do. View customer is his profile, but also in our old layout from our old system. But you can update everything here, and it will just flow over to the new one as well. Then on the left hand side, we can fully see the booking, we can partially see the booking, waiting in bar, table ready, edit comments, unallocate, move to waitlist. Now the first ones are pretty clear. Edit comments, we know. Unallocate, it can do two things in your diary. It can or find the next best table, which I think this one is set up for. No, this one does the other thing. This one actually unallocated. So this one is now unallocated. I can click it back and I'll go back on. I can change this feature. See, it's now found a different table. I can change this feature that it will find the next best table. So I'll do that quickly so you can see what it does. So if I do it now, it's changed, and this is probably a better setting because there shouldn't be a reason to unallocate customers. If I have a VIP and I want to sit the VIP on table 4, which we've got Nicola, I need Nicola to move. First we'll unlock her quickly. So I just need this reservation to go somewhere else. So I click unallocate. She will get a different table. She just moved one table, and I can now put a VIP on here. That's what unallocate should be doing. Move to waitlist can also be changed to move to standby list. Not used a lot, but probably the only reason I can think of is when someone calls and says, I'm running an hour late, and you say, well, I'll have to put you on the wait list and see if we've got time when you arrive. Cool. So during service, we want to make sure we keep our diary up to date. We want to know who's seated, who's running late. We want to know if there's a walk-in. We want to change a booking if they walk in. If they're booked with 13 but they walk in with 12. We all want to keep it up to date. There are a few reasons to do this. Firstly, for statistics. So after a year of data, you can look back and see exactly how many covers you had, how many bookings, how many walk-ins. You can see how long people were seating for. So there's a lot of good statistics where you can use for your marketing. The other reason is if you keep your diary up to date, you can take bookings during service. Most bookings, or a lot of bookings, are made during service. People come out of work, come down, open the Dimmi app or the Dimmi website and looking for a table around them. If you don't have availability, or if your diary is switched off because you are not using the diary live during service, you might be running it off a piece of paper. It basically means that they can't book your restaurant and you might have availability. So keeping the diary up to date will show availability up to date straight away. This will actually work through your website. It will work through the Dimmi website. It will work through the Dimmi app. It will work through Qantas, TripAdvisor, all of our affiliates as well. So obviously you don't really want to miss any table to be booked. So what do we need to do? How do we keep our diary up to date? It's sort of the same thing as what you used to do on a running sheet, on a piece of paper. When someone arrives, you highlight them in green, or you put a star in front of it or a circle. If they're late, you cross them out. If they're booked with 10, you cross out the 10 and you write 8. Now, if you do that here, so let's say you've printed this out and you've got Rachel, you're on your piece of paper, Rachel is 13 people, but they walk in with 10. You cross out the 13, you make it a 10, happy day, she was seated, but somewhere there are 3 seats available in your restaurant. But your diary doesn't know that because this is still sitting on 13. You've changed it on your piece of paper. So if I do it here, if I change this to a 10, and then I'm just going to see if there's a better availability for her. So I'll pick her up and put her back on table 1. It's just changed. So it's now using 3 tables instead of 5, which basically means I've got more availability. People can book now. So by the way, she has been fully seated now. So she's turned green and she's here. you see the diary just dropped the booking back to now. So there's a setting in the diary when you get, if you seat somebody, it will drop it back to the current time, which sort of makes sense because you can't seat somebody in the past or in the future. So Rachel is seated. We've changed it to 10. We've got more availability. I'm going to get a walk-in now of 6 people, and I'm going to put them on table 2. So there are a lot of ways to do this. I can click the walk-in button, and it tells me I have to choose and fill in what I want to do. For me, this takes too long. So what I want to do, I just want to click on this on the grid. If I click close to the orange line, it will not make a booking, but it will make a walk-in. And everything's filled in. 6 bucks, 4 o'clock, table 2, confirm, walk-in. So that's quick. The other one that's pretty quick is your next 3 tables. So a 4-pax walks in now. It's 3:30, or we're in the 3:30 time slot still. Table 5 is available. I look on the floor. I'm happy with that. Click, confirm. Table 5 get a walk-in as well. And all what I'm doing is updating my availability online as well, but also for myself. If you're a large restaurant and you have maybe 2 hosts or you have 2 entrances into your restaurant, they can both see what's going on. And they can both see, okay, I've still got table 3 available, I've got table 6 available, and 9, 10, and 11. So all we need to do is seat people, change tables around if we have to change table around, add our walk-ins, and then we can choose to close bookings as well, but we don't have to. The only reason to do so is for this, and I'll have to change this a little bit. So let's say we had Rachel. She came in at 2:30, and the booking runs till, this is a little bit crazy, but the booking runs till 6:30. It's a very long dinner, but they're done and they've just left. So green means they're seated. So I want to now make sure that the system knows that they've gone. So I click on the booking again and I close the booking. Everything here in between, except the first one. The first one is to unseat if you made a mistake. You can unseat them. But everything in between is more for your POS integration. Your POS integration can push back that they're on their mains, or they've got the bill, or they've paid, or they've closed. This will do it automatically for you. If you cash off a table in your POS, it can close the booking like this, brings it back just before the orange line, and the table is now available. Can be booked again. So in a busy restaurant, this is fantastic to do. It will keep your table availability up to date at all times. Zoe's late. She's red. We're not quite sure where she is. So on the right-hand side, I can also see that Zoe is running late. Her clock is red. If she's called, I can click on the clock and write down quickly in the comments that maybe she's running late, or I could give her a call. Maybe I delete her if she doesn't answer the call. So that's sort of what we need to do during service. Seat them, change them, delete them, and close them. Now, obviously, we can move tables around as well. So if we're looking at tonight, it's looking rather strange. Cornelia, I want to sit on the table of 2, so I'm going to move it to table 10. And we've got a 4 here. I want to sit on table 4, so I can move stuff around. I can drag and drop. Now it gets more difficult when your restaurant is more busy. So I can swap bookings as well. So I can put the test here on top of Cornelia, and it will swap them around. It will always try to swap them around. But what could happen is that I have a 2 and I swap it around with a 4. Now what it will do is it will try and put the 4 on where the 2 came from. But obviously that's not possible. Then it will look if there's a join with where the 4 came from, or where the 2 came from. That's obviously not the case at this stage, so it tells me if you do this, you will override it. I will do that now, because I want that 2 there, and the 4 is now sitting on the 2. So I need to find the 4 for that one. Yeah, it will always want to swap. It will look for a join. If not, it will overbook it. You can switch that off, that you can't overbook it, and it will find a different table. You just got to be careful in a really busy restaurant. When you start swapping around, sometimes you don't quite see where the other table went to. So my suggestion, if you have a busy restaurant, is before service to go in and lock your tables. This 9, I don't want to move, so I'm going to lock it. Yeah, I know that Cornelia loves to sit there. I'm going to lock that one too. So make sure that all your VIPs, all the tables that are set and joined in your restaurant, you'll lock them. So this 9 should never move because you've set a table, 3 tables for 9, and if accidentally this one would move and go somewhere else, and you might have missed it, then you're in trouble at 8:30 because you've got a table of 9 set, but there's no reservation on it, it's sitting somewhere else. That's one way of doing it. The other way also, or another way to do it, is to have a look on your expected arrival list. So I've got Zoe on table 7. I don't want her on table 7 for whatever reason. I want her somewhere else. I don't want to drag and drop. I just want to see what else is available. So I can click on table 7, and at the top it tells me what else is available. So for this booking at 3:30, these tables are available. So if I click on that one and I confirm, it will move the booking to, where do we go? Here. Sorry, over here. Zoe's moved down there. What else I can do here is I can create a join. I can say, I know, I want Zoe to sit on table 1 and table 2. Now, let me do something stranger. I want 51 and 68. It's a different join on the community table. It doesn't exist. Oh, but I want it. Sorry, I'm going to do it again. 68. And then I can click temporary join. So temporary join means it's only going to work for this reservation. It will never come back in my system. I'm overbooking because it's a 302. Okay, I'm going to do that. And it uses those 2. But only happened once. That join is now not available. I can still pick her up, put her somewhere else, and it will find a better join, obviously, and put him down there. So this is quite helpful. I find this quite helpful. But if I'm on Saturday, and I want to do this on Saturday, your expected arrivals might be Saturday, so in this case it is, but in most cases it's not. In most cases this shows the expected arrivals of today. So I'm going to make that quickly happen as well, because that should, I think that's what it should be. Current date. So as you can see, we can change quite a lot of your settings in the diary to whatever works best for you. So now I'm on Saturday. My expected arrivals are today's, so he's still here. So if I wanted to change these bookings around, I can go to the running order. Click running order, and just click on the table here, and you can do the same thing. Again, I can make a temporary join and put them on a temporary join. Temporary joins are really good for flexible restaurants. So that's sort of how we shovel around. That's how we keep our diary up to date. If you require, or if you rather work on the floor plan, we can do obviously the same thing here. It just doesn't give you, I think, the best view on what's happening tonight. So if I look at 6 o'clock, I can see what's happening at 6 o'clock, but I'm not quite sure. I can see that they're free, and I know there's bookings coming, but I can't quite see exactly what's happening. Do I know that table 10 is rebooked? I can click on the little lines, and it will tell me if it is or not. So this one is not. This gives me a running order of the table, but it's too many clicks. I want to see it straight away. So you can use this, but make sure you click through the times and see what's going on. It will obviously tell you what's happening as well. This diary is set to show the first name on the floor plan. That can be changed to or last name or company, or it will show that they seated, they're late, or they've left. Or if you use a POS integration, it will say main, entree, dessert. 6 o'clock, if I wanted to move, let's go to, 6. These 2, I'm going to move to a different table. I can just basically pick them up, put them on table 6, and it will go into table 6. But it's a little bit harder to see. I find the grid easy to see. But you do all the same things here. You can seat people, and they'll be seated. So you see they're seated. When you hover over, it tells you who it is. The white line is good to see what's happening and which tables might become free soon. Cool. That's sort of what we do in a normal restaurant viewing service. This is what we have to do. We don't have to close bookings, only if you want to clear that table again. If it's your last session, or if you're 100% sure no one books after it, you can just leave them green, and they will stay green. The next day will just roll over, not a problem. Now, let's say you're running a really busy restaurant and your restaurant is full. You might still be running service, you're fully booked, and someone comes at the door and wants a table. You know you will have a table in half an hour, but you don't really want to lose them, but you don't have a bar, so you tell them we can put you on the wait list and we'll send you a text as soon as the table is available. So this is our wait list during service. It's a very great feature and it works really well, especially for busy restaurants. So I can add somebody to the waitlist here. Again, I can use my shortcuts as well. So I can do Q, create waitlist, or 8, open the waitlist. So, and I've got buttons as well. So you can do it 3 different ways. I'm going to add somebody to the waitlist. It starts with 2 packs, so you can change that to 4 packs. You can choose the time. So I'm going to go for 6:30. Obviously, we are in between 2 services, so this is a little bit strange, but it tells me 2 hours and 29 minutes. If I type in the name and I'm in the database, I come up. By the way, I always suggest to type in ask for the mobile number first. The reason is 2, 3. You keep your database clean because you know that this is the right person. So I'm already in here. I'm adding him for 6:30. I don't care which area, standard duration, and I complete, and I will be added to the waitlist. If I close the waitlist now, I can see I've got 4 people waiting. Now, this works on real availability, and it works on now. So at the moment, this is just a little bit incorrect because there actually is a table available. Normally, what it will say is the expected time will be red, and that means there's no tables available because you're fully booked. You need to close a booking first that will leave earlier for someone to get a table. What this system can do is, as soon as I add somebody to waitlist, what I just did, this person has received a text saying, we've added you to the waitlist. We will send you a text when your table is available. If you need to cancel, please click here. Something like that. We can change the text to however you want it to work. We can also put in the time that we've quoted him. So we can say, we've added you to the waitlist. Your table will be available at 6:30. We will send you another text or something. So we can do a lot of different things depending on how you want to run your waitlist. This one has now received a text and is walking down the street. He might find another restaurant and he can cancel his booking, and this one will automatically disappear. What we can do as well is we can send a text earlier and saying, hey, your table is available at 6:30. Please click here to confirm that you're still coming. If they do that, so I can send a message. So this is the second message I've now sent. So automatically someone will get the message if you add them to it, and then you can send the second message. So you can see this clock has turned red and it says the message is sent. If he would have received the message and he has accepted it, this clock will turn, this airplane will turn green and it will say guest accepted. You can set the system up that if you do that and he doesn't react within a certain amount of minutes, this whole booking will turn orange, and you know he's wasted he's out of time. You can also use that if you don't ask them to reconfirm, but you can say, hey, your table is available now. Please make your way down here within 10 minutes or we give your table away. Then we set the system up for 10 minutes. It will turn orange by the time that it's finished. And then you know that they're too late and you can take them off. Once they walk in, you can seat the booking and choose a table. You can click edit and do choose a bit more than 4 tables so you can see what else is available. You can also change the time here beforehand. You can change bits and pieces and send a message, or you can mark them as a no-show or decline. So I'm just going to seat them, complete, and he's gone, and he'll be seated straight away. It's this one. Obviously, you can't seat somebody in the future, so this one is not seated, just been added to the diary, which will show here as well now. This sign means it's not a booking, but it came from the waitlist. If I double click these, by the way, they will disappear. That means I've seen it. Yeah. Here, this means there are any on there, and this means I've seen them. So once I double click that, it will just disappear. If I've done them all, then all the clocks will disappear. That is the waitlist. It's quite advanced, so if you want to use it, if your restaurant needs it, give us a call as well. We'll set it up for you. You will obviously have to sign up for SMSs to be able to go out, which we can organize as well. It's not very hard to set up, so if it's something you're interested in, let us know. What else? So we've got the waitlist. We know how to use this during service. We know how to manage our bookings. I think we're sort of pretty good for today. We wanted to keep this on about an hour. If there are any questions, please let us know. We just got a question here what this symbol means next to the total spent. This will tell me a breakdown on where my bookings and covers are per area and per service. It also tells me if there are any excluded ones. So excluded bookings means that we've set up an area in your diary that doesn't count in your total covers. So if you take 12 covers per time slot and you've got an area that doesn't count in it, it will not stop bookings coming in. I will, by the way, quickly tell you the closeout. I haven't told you about the closeout. The closeout console, I can close out a full service or a full area or any of them in any combination. Now, I'd never suggest to do that unless there is an emergency, because if you keep your diary up to date, you should not have to close it out. If it's for a function, then you could do that, but you can also book a function over all your tables and that will close it out automatically. So this is more in for any emergencies. If you want to do so, click dinner, put in an internal reason, and click save. And this will basically turn your diary red, and it's now closed out. This also means that you've dropped off all of our websites to the bottom of the list if people still want to try and book you. So it's not a good idea. So let's switch it open. Let's do a different way. Let's click on close individual tables and time slots. Here I can close out specific time slots. So I can click 8 o'clock and it will close at 8 o'clock. No more bookings at 8 o'clock. So here I can actually manage my floor a little bit better. If for some reason table 1 is not available today, I can click on any time slot and it will close it out for a seating time. So I can close it out that way as well. Click back on the cross to go back to the normal diary, and this will stay closed. Now when you click this close out again, you can see what you've done as well and who's done it. And I might be able to show you a diary with some color. So here you see a closeout that has been made by us because they're not open. So when you click the closeouts, you can see it's closed for lunch. So we've created it, and you can take it up as well. So if on that day you want to open up for lunch, you can just take it off and it will open up. Closeouts. Okay, I think we are done for today. I've lost my console. Are there any questions? I'm just looking where I've lost my console. There's no questions, I believe. Okay, that was it for today. This was just a refreshment course, so pretty basic and simple. The next one will be probably a bit more advanced, where we will go in on how to set up promotions, how to set up a segment, how to set up payments, or anything like that. If there's anything specific you would like to do, please contact us on 1-300-337-761 or send us an email. If you have your contact, your representative, obviously give him a call, give her a call, and we can come in to give you a hand with whatever you would like to send up. I hope this was useful. Please let us know what you thought of it, and we hope to see you again on the next webinar. Thank you.